What's up? Zach here from Spoken English Today. Thanks a lot for joining us. As you know from our previous videos, if you've had a chance to review a few of them, we go over the different intricacies of spoken English, in particular American spoken English. I don't teach a lot of grammar and I don't teach a lot of vocabulary. So if you're looking for either two of those, it's probably best to check out a book and then come back and join us. What I do teach and what I do love to review with you is how to speak American English, some of the sayings that we use, and when you should and should not use in today's lesson an adjective or an adverb. So let's get cracking. If you have not already done so, check out down below. You will find the PDF of today's lesson. Go ahead and download that. If you could also, while you're down there, rate and subscribe to the channel. If you give me a thumbs up, that'd be sweet. There's also a comment section down there, and I can also be contacted via the method above, via email and so on, Facebook. Okay, cool. So let's get cracking. Take out your sheet there for our lesson. We've got 10 examples here. What I would recommend and what usually works best is if you can fill it out beforehand, try to answer some of the questions, and those that you cannot get we'll review. What I like to do with adjectives and adverbs, adjective is going to describe a noun, and adverb is going to describe a verb or how something is done. So they're both modifiers. Typically an adverb will end in ly, and the rest we're just going to have to figure out exactly what the sentence means and what they're trying to modify. Usually an adjective will come directly before a noun, and an adverb will come directly after a noun, but it can change around a lot. So let's try to apply these methods. And if you want, stop the video as we're going through this lesson and move your mouth along and try to speak before I speak, and then follow along as I speak. I'm going to try to pronounce words very clearly, and if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Love to help you out more. Alright, let's get cracking. Number one here is, she is a blank driver, I think. So either she's a careful driver or she's a carefully driver. So because the word careful is going to modify, the adjective careful is going to modify the driver, it should be careful. And what I like to do in all of these 10 examples is I will use the correct word, the correct adjective or adverb, and then flip it around and show you how to use the other one. I'll also give you the opposite meaning. So let's talk about this one right here. She is a careful driver, I think. Why? Because she drives carefully. The opposite of careful would be reckless, or mindless, or dangerous. And so if we use the word dangerous, she is a dangerous driver, I think. Why? Because she drives dangerously. Cool. Good job. Boom. Alright, number two. She shouted angry at him, or she shouted angrily at him. Well, this is sort of a bad example because it can be either. The reason being is she shouted angrily at him is what the question is looking for. But if you were to put angry in there, she shouted angry at him, but there were quotation marks, it would be correct because she shouted the word angry at him. So she shouted angry at him, or she shouted angrily at him. Let's go with the second one. She shouted angrily at him. Why? Because she was angry. The opposite of angry would be happy, so she shouted happily at him. This probably doesn't make sense because you usually don't shout at somebody with a happy tone, but let's move on to number three. Boom. Alright, he is a blank worker. He is a careless worker, or he is a carelessly worker. Well, right before the word worker, we know it's usually going to be an adjective. So in this case, the subject he, the verb is, and the description is worker, and it's going to be he is a careless worker. Why? Because he works carelessly. The opposite of careless would be mindful or dedicated or vigilant. So let's just use the word mindful. He is a mindful worker because he works mindfully. So he's concentrating on his work. Cool, good job. Alright, number 4. If I ask you nice or nicely, I will give it to you. So if I ask blank, I will give it to you. If you ask nicely, because it's describing how you're asking, I will give it to you. If you ask nicely, I will give it to you. Why? Because you are nice. The opposite of nice would be mean. If you ask meanly, I will not give it to you. Why? Because you're mean. Let's go number 5. Be quiet. I can't think clear, or I can't think clearly if you are talking. Well, this is, again, right after the verb to think. So in this case, it is be quiet. I can't think clearly if you are talking. Why? Because you are talking and I can't think clear. The opposite of this is very difficult to do. So if I can't think clearly when you are talking, you should be silent. All right. Why are you angry? Or why are you angrily? In this case, the subject is you. Somebody is asking you a question, how you are feeling, essentially. So, why are you feeling angry, or why are you feeling angrily? So it's going to be why are you angry, because it's describing how you feel. And in this case, why are you angry? Because you are speaking to me angrily. The opposite of angry would be happy or joyful. Why are you happy? Because you were speaking with me sweetly and happily. Let's go to number 6. You are always so slow, or you are always so slowly. In this case, why are you always so slow? Come on. So the reason that it's slow is it's describing the person you. It's describing a physical trait or a trait of the person you. And it's encouraging you to continue to go faster. So you are always so slow. Come on. Why? Because you are moving slowly. The opposite of slow is pretty easy, right? It's fast. So, why are you so fast? Come on! Well, you wouldn't really say that for come on, but it'd be like, whoa, 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 slow down, bro. And why? Well, because you're going so fastly. Cool. That's kind of a California accent, if you guys recognize that. Slow. Whoa, dude, bro. Hey, surfer dude. Let's go to number 7. Those chocolates look nice, or those chocolates look nicely. Can I have one? Here's an interesting point. So chocolates is a collective noun. So meaning that one chocolate or several chocolates use the word look, not looks. So this particular piece of chocolate looks nice. These chocolates look, without an S, nice. Can I have one? The opposite, why would you want one? Because they look nice, and I'm looking nicely at them. Or we know it's going to be nice because it's an adjective and it's modified. It's describing what the chocolates, how they appear, what they actually look like. So they're nice chocolates. The opposite of this would be disgusting, gross, unappealing. But let's use gross. Gross is probably something you would say on a frequent basis. So, these are gross. These chocolates are gross. Why? Because they have nougat in them, and I hate nougat. Or nuts. I hate nuts. So, let's go ahead and go on number 8. She opened the door slow, or she opened the door slowly. So it's describing how she opened the door, and the opposite of that would be she opened the door mean. But let's talk about more of a verb, how she would actually open the door. So she opened the door violently. If you rip the door open and then slam it shut, that's kind of a violent action. So let's talk about let's input it into the sentence. She opened the door slowly. Why? Because she is slow. Or she opened the door angrily because she was angry. Alright, number 9. It's a beautiful clear day, or it's a beautiful clearly day. Well, we know that coming right before the noun day, most likely it's going to be an adjective. In this case it is. So we're going to choose the adjective, which is clear. It is a beautiful clear day. Why? Because I see clearly. We wouldn't normally say I see clearly, but we would say something like it is a beautiful clear day because I can see really far, and that implies clear. So the opposite of clear would be cloudy, would be smoggy. So in a city like New York, Los Angeles, sometimes Denver, you get a lot of smog, or the pollutants that are in the air, particularly in places like Los Angeles, where there is a mountain range that's going to hold in a lot of the smog, or a lot of the air particulates that are put up by the factories. So when there's no wind, there's going to be a lot of smog. That smog is going to make it hard to see, and you won't see clearly. So you could say, it's a beautiful day, even though it's smoggy. Let's go to number 10. You write so careless, or you write so carelessly. In this case, and the last part, look at these mistakes. So you know that it's going to be how you write, or it's going to be a description of writing. So in this case, it's an adverb which modifies the verb to write. So you write so carelessly. Look at all these mistakes. Why? Because you are careless. The opposite of careless, again, as we talked about earlier, would be vigilant, or mindful, or very careful. So in this case, you write so carefully. Oh my God, that's amazing! Why? Because you never make any mistakes. Just like me, right? Bam, not, who knows. Anyways, I hope this helped. If you have any questions, I'd love to help you further. If you want to go ahead and replay this video and try to move your mouth along with mine, I know I have a huge mouth. I will try to do better in the future to help you if you have any questions. Again, contact below, or you can send me an email on any of our contact methods. If there's something in particular you'd like to learn that we haven't discussed already, maybe more about our reflections on what exactly goes on in the U.S., or what our thoughts are on whatever, let me know. I'd love to talk to you more about it. Cool. Peace out. Stay cool, guys. Bam.